Joining me right now is none other than that congressman from Florida, Francis Rooney himself. You're making lots of news, sir. So tell me what you mean. What do you, when you say purge the FBI, define that for us.
Well, I was so overwhelmed and fearful when I saw the kind of conduct that Mr. Stroke and Mr. Orr and Deputy Attorney General McCabe were engaged in that I just feel that for an agency that has so much influence over Americans' lives, they have to be purer than pure. And this is what I read was very disturbing, and I don't think they should be working there.
Mm-hmm. I hear you on some of it anyway, but you know what someone might say back at you about this is, well, it's natural. People have their own opinions and they're going to have their own political beliefs. Can you not have a political belief and be part of the FBI?
Everyone is entitled to their own political, religious, etc. beliefs. That's what our Constitution demands and protects. But this, I thought these emails and these discussions about that dossier went a lot further than that. The guy talking about, oh, we've got some insurance to make sure the president can't get elected. That's going pretty far. I would like to see the congressional committees run all that stuff to ground to find out what were they doing and why, and what they do with that dossier.
Yeah, here's one of the emails from Peter Strzok. He says, I want to believe the path you threw out for consideration in Andy's office, that there's no way he gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy in the unlikely event you die before you're 40. Wow. So, you know, when people talk about the deep state, this is what they're talking about. This is the fear that somehow, you know, people within government are trying to control the outcomes of the American people. In other words, they want to make sure that President Trump is not elected, even if the American people want him there. And this is a scary thought.
Very scary. I think this is just the last chapter in about 7 or 8 years worth of ends justifying the means behavior. And I guess they've just got used to doing what they want to do. Whether it's Strove's the one that told Director Comey to downplay Hillary Clinton's email problems from negligence to carelessness. The guy shows up everywhere.
You've got Bruce Orr, who was a top DOJ official at the time, and he had contacts with that dossier firm back in 2016. And then, of course, we learned his wife worked for Fusion GPS, which is the company that came up with that whole dirty dossier, as it has been referred to, and largely discredited. I guess what I find extremely troubling, Representative, is the idea that somehow our government may have used that in order to get FISA warrants to go after people in the Trump campaign. And that's a scary thought to me, because it sounds like the Russians were feeding Christopher Steele, the spy, all this different information, misinformation, which then was going back to Fusion GPS, which then may have been going back to the FBI?
Yeah, where does this Orr's guy's job description enable him to go meet with that Chris Steele guy during a campaign? Talk about getting into an election. I think there's laws against that.
So what do you think needs to happen now? When you say purge the FBI, do they need to go out, you know, and figure out where these biases are and what people did with these biases?
I think for the people that did things like we're talking about here that go far beyond personal political beliefs, Attorney General Sessions and our congressional oversight committees need to subpoena some people, get them up there, and run all this stuff to ground. And don't let McCabe or Rosenstein stonewall them.
You know, the critics, I'll go back to the other one. We've got to get both sides in here. Critics would say that this is all being orchestrated by the Trump administration, and somehow they're trying to create this, you know, shiny object over here, which is the big bad FBI, deep state, et cetera, to detract from what's really going on with the Mueller investigation. How do you respond to those criticisms, Congressman?
Well, first, can you imagine a Republican Justice Department and FBI working with a Republican National Committee created and funded dossier to go after a Democratic candidate? This would make Watergate look like nothing. So what I say is the Mueller investigation needs to focus on what it was set up to do, to find out if Russia succeeded in its efforts to undermine the election or alter the election, and if there's any evidence of collusion between the administration and Russia, which there hasn't been any adduced to date.
The Inspector General is expected to come out with his report relatively soon on the FBI. What else can be done in addition to that, in your view?
Well, I think again, Attorney General Sessions owes the American people to dig in to how many strokes types there are around there, and possibly get rid of them.
You don't think the Inspector General will do enough on that, or you just want to see him tag team up with Sessions?
Look, yeah, he's the first step, right? He delivers his report, and then the Attorney General has to act on it.
All right.
I think. Thank you.
Well, it's so good to have you here, Congressman, and good luck with it.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Remember, Samuel Adams said, "We are a nation of laws, not men." And that independent bureaucracy, which was set up after Andrew Jackson to avoid excesses just like this, is one of the hallmark institutions of our American success.
Yeah, indeed. No, you can't have that going on for sure. So we'll find out more information very soon, I would imagine. Congressman Rooney, thank you very much. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks again, Trish.